back. What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another video here. And as you guys can tell, we're in a pretty special location today. Obviously in my 240. It's been a while since we've been in this thing. I'm really excited to be back in it. So in the video where I kind of did a walk around my car, which unfortunately didn't do as well as I'd hope it would have done. It's still early, I guess, but you know what I mean? I forgot how loud this thing is. So yeah, in that video, I asked you guys, do you want to see me kind of explain to you guys where I got this car from, the whole story behind it, and hope you guys can hear me, by the way. So that's basically what I am here to tell you guys about, where this car came from, how I got it, the story behind it. It's a pretty crazy story, honestly. This was not my first 240. I had two before this one. My first ever 240 I got when I was 18. And I didn't have it for long. I had to sell it. Once I got rid of that one, I mean, that one was absolutely clean, like very, very super clean from the south, like spotless. So that one didn't last long, unfortunately, you know what I mean? But that's okay. We wouldn't have this one if we did not have that one, you know what I mean? So it works. So I'm kind of looking at these roads, and I might be second guessing myself with the whole salt aspect. I mean, it's not damp or moist outside. The roads aren't wet, so there's not, it won't corrode, whatever, so it's not too big of a deal. But I mean, they look clean, but then again, in my back of my mind, I'm like, they might not be. My second 240 was an absolute rust bucket. Like that 240 was the worst condition 240 I have ever personally seen. Did not look good. But it got me through the winter. I actually drove it in the winter time, so for the winter time, it was fine. I sold it the next spring, I believe. I didn't have it for long at all. And then I think I had found this shell before I sold the black one. Another question I get asked a lot is, where do I find all these 240s? Maybe I'll make that in a separate video, but I mean, when the ad for this 240 came up, it had been up for 3 minutes, and I kid you not, 3 minutes the post had been up. It shows you in the bottom corner. It says 3 minutes ago. And I was searching Craigslist every single day for 3 years. And when I tell you every single day for 3 years, I am not lying. Every single day, I would just go home and just start searching for a 240. There's salt in the road, so yeah, once I found the ad, you know what I mean, I hit the guy up immediately, because I know these things sell like hotcakes. They don't last online for very long, especially ones in this condition, let alone the fact that I live in New York State, where it's just absolutely a rust belt, you know what I mean? There's just, I mean, as I say that, I'm driving my spotless one on a salty road, but it's not salt, it's just the point where they just salt. It's not bad at all, to be honest. I'm going to take a look at my car on the outside when I get to where I'm going and see what we're working with. Honestly, I'm not too worried. So I messaged the guy, you know what I mean, gave him a call that morning, and let me tell you, when I found it, I just decided to go on and search one morning just before work for no random reason. Because I never used to search in the morning before I went to go into work. I'm always at night. So that, one morning I go on, check it out, boom, there it is, you know what I mean? The picture, back then I wasn't taking videos, or I wasn't on YouTube, I didn't even have a camera, I don't even know if I had an iPhone. So I right away I emailed, and by the way, I'll post some pictures if I have them of the car, or of the shell. As you guys can see, the picture that was for this ad, it didn't look good, you know what I mean? It looked like a really big project. But, I clicked on the ad, I read what it said, no rust, super clean, this and that. So immediately I was sold, you know what I mean? Once I saw no rust, that's all I was after, was no rust. After owning my black one, it was just I'm not going to own another rust bucket like this. So I arranged to meet up with this guy as soon as possible, you know what I mean? This is during the week, so I think I met him, that next weekend or something along those lines. Maybe during the week, I don't exactly remember. And by the way, I got this car, I've had it for 3 years now, so I bought it in 2013, May of 2013, May 3rd of 2013. And you know, here we are today, three years later. You know what I mean? 3 sets of wheels. So it's evolved for sure. I really wish I was on YouTube and making videos when I first got it, because that would have been absolutely awesome to start from the very beginning and show you guys like how it's evolved. Because when I bought it, you know, it was a bare. There was nothing. There was no interiors, all in boxes. It had almost everything for the swap, or not for the, excuse me. Okay, I'll get into that in a second. But it had almost everything. Obviously, no motor, trans. It was a roller. It was a shell. But it had all the necessities. You know what I mean? Interior was there. Wiring was there. You know, hard lines for all the brakes. Those were there. So it was basically just a big Lego kit. So once I got it, you know, once I was there, you know, as you can see from the picture, it was just absolutely covered in dust. So I couldn't really tell the paint job as, you know, right off the bat. Had a crackless dash, still does. Beautiful, beautiful interior. And it only had 74,000 miles on it when I bought it. It was sitting in that barn. It was in a barn for 7 years. That's why it was so dirty. It's just been collecting dust for, you know, 7-8 years. So it was like a barn find. It's a unicorn barn find. I'm sure there's, you know, guys out there with lower miles, you know, on their 240 and stuff like that. But for me, like where I live, unicorn. I've been talking to this guy, you know, back and forth, you know, until I went there and actually picked it up. And he was telling me that he's had probably about 30 to 40 people message him for that car. You know, luckily I was the first one. Like if I wasn't the first one, I would not have gotten this thing. And I don't know where I would have been as far as, you know, what car I would have been driving or what shell I would have had. But it definitely would not have been this one, because this would have sold instantly if I didn't message him when I did. So I just got super lucky. Everything happens for a reason, guys. Don't rush the process, you know what I mean? Like there's so many 240s that I could have bought. None were as clean as this. Much cheaper, but none were as clean. And when it comes to a car like these, you know, they're super hard to find in good condition, let alone, you know, rust free. So, you know what I mean? I paid $1,900 just for the bare shell, like bare bones, no aftermarket parts, nothing. Everything was OEM wheels, strut, everything. But luckily, you know what I mean, I got what I paid for, you know, as a shell. So I'm not bummed out about that at all. So we go there, you know what I mean? I see the car, and to me, I'm not blown away yet, you know, because I don't see the color. I see it's just this brown, just dusty, dull, you know. It literally looks like it's been sitting there for 10 years, which it, you know, was. So nothing crazy. I brought it home. You know, I'm ecstatic, by the way. You know what I mean? I'm ecstatic. I've been looking for a rust-free shell for so long, and to be honest, I expected that I would need to paint it to make it look as good as it does now. But brought it home, didn't touch it. I had to go straight to work. The next day, I came home at like, you know, 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning from work. You know, obviously wasn't gonna, you know, start diving as much as I would love to, but I think it was a little bit chilly or something like that. The scariest part about the whole deal was the guy almost bailed. I drove like, I mean, not too far, an hour and a bit, hour and a half or so to get this thing. The guy almost bailed. He's like, oh, this is a tough sale, you know what I mean? It's a really tough sale. I've had this, you know, because I think he was planning on doing like a 2J swap. I think he had the motor already. I just think he either lost, you know, motivation or what, but like he almost backed out, and that was the worst part. Like I had rented the trailer, you know what I mean? Like this was it for me. Like this was a big day, and the dude almost backed out. Luckily he didn't. Once he saw on the trailer, he was like, "Oh man, dude, this is tough. I thought he was about to be like, dude, we need to get this thing off the trailer, back in the garage. I can't do it because it's sunny, by the way. I'm gonna get the old sunnies on." But yeah, I mean, he was so close to backing out, and thank God he didn't, you know what I mean? So we got this thing loaded up, you know, put on the trailer. We tarp it because there was like a storm coming or something like that. And I think, I don't know what the rush was or something, because we probably could have picked a better day, or I don't know if it was just nice at first, and then because it started downpouring, you know what I mean? And obviously this car has power windows, and the windows were down, and we couldn't roll them up because all the harness was just all out of the car. Nothing was hooked up, so we had to tarp it. I kind of had like this tiny tarp that covered about like half the car. So I mean that was just kind of shot, but we made it home. Luckily the car didn't get too wet. I mean, there's like a little puddle in the back, but luckily there was nothing in there for you know, to get ruined. So the next day comes around. It's a beautiful day. Like we're just getting to spring. Like I said, it's like May 4th now. That was the day I could actually, you know, get the car nice and clean, see what I'm actually working with, and you know, just really get to just soak in the whole project. You know what I mean? there was like I think there was like 4 or 5 just huge boxes worth of parts, wiring, bolts, just, you know what I mean? Like, I had to figure out all this myself, and I had never really dove into like building a car before, so this was all new to me, you know what I mean? I just kind of dove into it, and I didn't have help. Like, it was just me, myself, and I. Like, when I tell you that, like, literally, like, maybe I had, you know, a buddy come and help every now and then, like when I went to get the motor in, just like to have a helping hand. But everything, honestly, guys, it was just myself. I mean, if I had a question, you know, I'd go to the internet, I would go to a forum, and figure it out. And if I couldn't find the answer, I would have to figure it out myself, you know what I mean? So sometimes it took a bit of trial and error, a bit of troubleshooting. But now, I mean, I know this car inside and out. I can, you know, take one apart, pull it together, you know, without thinking twice about where it goes, you know what I mean? I know what that is, I know what this is. So it definitely pays off, because now, like I said, I'm really efficient with these cars. So, you know, that's definitely a plus. God, I'm gonna miss this sound. I mean, I guess basically, if you guys are trying to take away something from this whole story, that would be never to rush anything. Everything happens for a reason, because when I tell you that there was probably about 4 to 6 different other shells that I was almost gonna buy, but they all fell through for whatever reason, there's a reason behind that. Because if I would have gotten one of those, and none of those shells were even remotely close to being as clean as this one I'm driving currently. So, you know, so even though things may take time, even though you may want things now, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it pays to take a step back, appreciate what you have already, and everything will come, you know what I mean? Patience is a virtue, and that's the truth. So, I mean, that's pretty much the whole story as far as how I got the car. There might have been a couple little small details I missed, but the major ones, that was it. Like, it was just crazy how it all happened, how it almost fell through. Did I even mention how much I paid? It was $1,900, which you'd think it's a bit. It's a lot more than what the other shells were that I was looking at, but as you know, again, you're paying for, you know, no rust. I mean, rust, once there's rust, it's just such a pain, you know, it sucks. Like, I know what it's like. I've been there. I've owned rusty 240s, so it's not fun. So it definitely pays to get something that's clean, workable. You know, when you don't have to put work into body, like, that's awesome. Now, if you guys want to hear a story as far as, you know, how I got the build complete and how long it took me for my first build, let me know in the comments. I'm sure you guys would like to hear that as well, but I just know that this video already is going to be like 10-15 minutes long. And if you guys are still here with me, please hit that thumbs up button. It really does help out a lot. It doesn't cost anything, you know what I mean? It's just a quick click, and it's awesome. It really helps me out. For all of you Nissan guys out there, December on Throttle is a Nissan month, so they're hosting the largest online Nissan swap meet. Traffic always ruins the fun, you know what I mean? Come on. Definitely check them out. Free to sign up. You guys can sell parts, buy parts. Link in the description. And, you know, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff in the description. Spam the Facebook page, guys. I want to see you guys, you know, talking about projects. I want to see what you guys are working on, what you guys are driving. Just spam the wall. Spam it. It's Calvin Molly fan page. Go to that one, like it, go crazy. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed me on this nice cruise. Hopefully the mic camera setup, yeah, I guess the camera, I mean, hopefully it all works out well. The sun's probably in your face right now. It's probably glaring up the screen, so hopefully that's not too bad. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. A lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff happening soon. Some of you may not be too happy for it. Some may be excited for what I just be excited. Nothing's going on with this. Well, kind of something. I'm keeping the car. I'm not selling the car. Don't worry about that. But things are happening with this car. So, and other cars. So, stay tuned. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.